All right, we began with a snap.
Tim snapped.
Someone off the camera snaps, and we're ready to podcast. This is podcast. This is podcasting. Hey, Jenny.
Hi, sweetie.
I was telling you about podcasting. You were just sitting there silently.
I was sitting there smiling.
You were.
There's a difference between sitting silent and sitting smiling.
That's true. And the
Because
difference is
a smile goes a long way.
that's
And
true.
I was engaged and smiling
Full tooth smile.
with some cashews in my teeth.
Oh wow, really getting in there with the details. This is what people come to podcasting to get. Cashews in your teeth and
Okay,
everything.
I think we need to have a conversation about this.
What is it? Is this an
How
off mic conversation or on
some-
mic conversation?
How some people have a natural proclivity to things getting stuck in their teeth.
Let me ask you, why should we have that conversation? And why should that be how we launch into the podcast that is the Fresh Life Christmas? No, I said Fresh Life Christmas. Let's start again.
Okay.
Got it all wrong. We got that out of the way. Now we can do our real start.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1, snap. And we're on the air.
Podcast.
We're on the podcast.
Snappity snap.
This is podcasting.
Your hot tea on your phone like that is making me a little nervous.
Here's the tea. Here's the phone. Better than just setting it on a couch. I mean, it's like resting. Okay, so like in these couches, there's dimples. It's like a Chesterfield, I think that's what they call that. The dimples of a couch. Normally there's these buttons in the dimples. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm pointing into, but you can't just set a coffee on a couch. I mean, there's a table for coffee.
Actually, a table right here would be perfect.
Off camera. Sneakity sneak.
Just right, not off camera, but
Snickety
right
snick.
here.
Sneaky table. Well, this is as good as it gets, folks. Here we are. This is December 17th, the Hey It's the Luskos Christmas Spectacular.
Wow.
And the crowd goes wild.
Wow.
The holiday edition.
What is planned? I don't even know.
Ooh, there's a lot planned, and it's going to get crazy. So thank you for joining us. Let's just get that out of the way right away so we can get on with the festivities, the fun festivities.
No, we are so grateful for you. There are so many of you who have messaged us on Instagram or left comments or whatever, just so kind and saying that we're like one of your favorite podcasts. That's
When the
a bold
Spotify does
statement.
its year end and you like see that people like are posting pictures of what music they listen to, and the dude with the sign says, "We get it, you listen to music." Because at this time of the year, everybody's posting there. Here's how many minutes I listen to whatever. And so thank you.
I haven't seen those ones.
Oh, people, you've posted, you've reshared some of them. People post like their year-end podcasting.
Oh, those
Those are
ones.
generated by Spotify,
Oh.
which is a big name in podcasting.
Mm.
So if you're listening to us on Spotify, thank you. If you're listening on iTunes, also thank you. If you're listening on Access More, also thank you.
If you're
And
in the
for
room
those-
where it happened,
then your name
thank
is
you.
Mackenzie or Tabasco, because that's it right now in the room. But YouTube as well. Anyhow, we've loved doing this. This is the second to the last episode of season 1 of Hey It's the Luskos. So now a little bit of a break, and we'll come back in February for season 2. Better, faster, stronger, with 63% more abs.
Oh, you're committed.
Results not guaranteed. I'm not saying if you listen to the podcast you'll get abs, but I'm not saying you won't, because
You could be doing ab workout while listening to the podcast.
that's the thing about podcasting. Like, when do you listen to podcasts? Is this the confession? Is this when it all comes out? Tell him,
okay.
tell him, Jenny.
Usually in the car.
Jenny,
But I will be honest.
tell him. Do
I
it.
don't listen to a lot of podcasts.
You don't listen to almost any podcasts.
I usually listen to them when I'm with you in the car because you fire it up.
It's a ricochet.
Here is the difference between me and you. You know exactly what you're going to listen to, exactly who you're going to talk to on the phone, exactly how you're going to use every single minute of your car ride.
But do you know what I'm going to do
For
next?
me, I get in the car and I think, I have 20 minutes. What should I do?
What should I do?
If I'm by myself, it's just luxury already because there's no one else in the car. There's no one yelling at each other, hitting each other. saying, "All right, I really have to go to the bathroom right now," and I'm on the freeway and I don't know what to do. When I'm in the car,
little kids don't tell you that they have to go to the bathroom. They tell you that they had to go to the bathroom 5 minutes ago and they're about to pee their pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is significantly easier with a boy. But all that to say, I get in the car and I think of all the things I could do. So I think of, I could call my mom. I could call this person that I've been meaning to call for a very long time and I haven't called, and I think they may not like me anymore because I haven't called them. And then I think, I should listen to a message. I should listen to a podcast. I should listen to music. I should just use this time to pray. And so I get overwhelmed. I list out all the things, and then I get overwhelmed by
when you're done with your brainstorm of what you could do, you're there. You arrive at your destination. Yes. Oh man!
But I just think, okay, and then I usually just sit in silence.
But she's actually, I do that a lot too, though. Driving with silence is lovely. No music, nothing. It's not my normal, but I would say like 1 out of 10 car rides, it's just a chance to sort of decompress and not think about anything.
Yeah.
But it is a great time to listen to. So like when you do listen to podcasts, do you like a church podcast? What sort of podcast do you listen to?
Yeah, I'll usually listen to a church podcast or the Grove podcast. Shelley Giglio does this great one with Passion City Church, the Grove Gals, and that's always just so edifying and encouraging and beautiful. And I love, we love How I Built This. Like those are, that's a great one.
BBC does some great ones too.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. What do you like to listen to?
Yeah, I think the NPR How I Built This podcast is one of the best ones out there, especially as an entrepreneur, someone who's loves the idea of building something and starting things. To hear the stories behind how things are built is fascinating to me. I love history, so I'm always trying to find a new kind of deep dive on.
What is a fancy and how does it get tickled?
That's a good question. It's a curiosity. I think one of the most important attributes for anybody is to stay curious, because every good invention, it's all come from someone being curious about something. I wonder, and I think that's a
great word for us all.
One of the ways that Jesus wants us to become like little children. Little kids are curious,
full of wonder.
What is that? Why do you do that? And I think to keep asking questions, to be curious. So I kind of like whatever makes me curious at the moment, which oftentimes is something from history. I'll do a deep dive on that. I love the podcast we have, but then again, it's like I'm always looking for a new recommendation. I'm always listening. Hey, what do you like? And people will send me episodes. I go on fits and starts. Like I get really into a podcast for a while, then I kind of gravitate away from it. Then I kind of come back into it. And
you'll listen to books on audio and
Audible, yes.
But that's one thing I love about you is that you're always learning. You're always taking in.
Well, this is the Christmas edition. And so I thought what would be fun for us today is to sort of talk about Christmas in the Lusko house and our favorite traditions and movies and holiday stuff and sort of just kind of like talk about all things holiday. This is a really beautiful season. I've noticed that people are like, even just in our neighborhood, there's more lights than I've ever seen. Yeah. More houses putting up lights than normal.
Yeah.
And it does seem like there's sort of like this colossal like want for the holiday season to bring some warmth to what has been a challenging year for a lot of people. And
yeah, no, that's true. And even just there does seem to be more of just readiness. And yeah, earlier than normal, like setting up lights and just, I don't know. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe sometimes most years you hear Christmas music playing earlier than you would think. Or
I think retail has always led the way in it being sooner and sooner and sooner.
Yeah.
And I feel like most years a lot of people complain more. I feel like this year there's been just like forget it. It is what it is. Like, we need this.
Bring it on. Well, I went into like a craft store, and it was in middle of October, or no, maybe early October, and it was just full of Christmas decorations and crafts and stuff, and it actually overwhelmed me because it made me realize, oh yeah, Christmas is coming, and Am I ready? But anyways, but yeah, I think it is such a fun time of year, even just looking at traditions and just looking at music and festivities and fun stuff like that. Obviously, it is the most wonderful time of the year when Jesus came to this earth as a baby who would save us from our sins, and like that is alone the most wonderful time of the year. But I think it's just fun as we have our own traditions, and I love hearing like different people's traditions and what they do, and I feel like we have had some things that we've done since we got married, but then also like we're also still figuring out traditions also, which is just super fun to kind of have, because I think sometimes like I look back at my childhood and like I remember opening stockings, and then my dad reading the Christmas story, and then how we opened presents was literally like each and every person had one, like you open one gift at a time, and it would just like take forever for everyone, but we were enjoying the person who was getting to open their gift and the person who got to give it or whatever. But and even like Christmas tree, like as we've been having conversations with friends and people in our life who talk about like how they do Christmas trees, like we just had one fake Christmas tree that all the ornaments went on, where like you could barely even see the tree anymore because you got like the little wooden ornament that I made when I was 2, along with my 7 brothers and sisters who had all their crafts and creations, because my mom is just that person who's like, we're including everyone, and this is for a family tree. And but we have friends who say, oh, this is my tree. Like, right. I have friends who are like, this is my tree, and no kids put any ornaments on this tree. But then they have their own tree, like back in the corner in the basement, like.
Yeah, the family tree.
Yeah.
We had like kind of like the opposite, where it was like we had one tree, but and whatever it was, but it's like our stupid kid ornaments. We're like, yeah, you can put those in the back. Oh, yeah, a little further back. No, Levi, all the way
into the tree.
Really burrow towards the trunk. That's where your ornament can go. And if we did put like our shiny like spaghetti, noodle rigatoni ornament on it, it would like mysteriously move to the back. We'd wake up and the elf on the shelf in our house was, oh, look, your childish kid ornament's been moved to the back. So I think it almost is better to have like a kid tree. We've kind of done that where it's like our kids have their own little trees they decorate.
Yeah. That's a fun thing for them. Lennox,
those little miniature foot tall trees you can get at like Michael's.
And then you put the little lights on and the battery operated ones. Lennox has one where he literally puts it in his bed, and as he goes to sleep, he's just staring at it.
Mesmerized.
So I don't know if that's a good thing for his eyes or if it's keeping him awake. Because like last night, he was not going to sleep.
Right.
And I don't know. I think sometimes he needs like darkness, but he's going to sleep looking at this bright little tree in his bed.
Yeah, it's also interesting, like protocol, like on lights, like timers, and because in the past, I think I would just leave our lights on all the time, which I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But the other day, I went outside and I noticed all of our neighbors had their lights off, like at midnight.
By the other day, you mean the other early morning when it's still dark outside?
Well, it's dark in Montana till like 10 a.m. I feel like the sun never comes up, and then the moment it gets up, it's like I'm tired, I'm going back to bed. But like it was like 7 a.m. I went outside and it was still pitch black and no one had their lights on except for me. And I was like, dang, man, I didn't know that. No one told me the memo. I'm supposed to turn this off. So I like got that timer thing going, and that was, I had to Google it to figure out how to, the Westinghouse, light timer.
That's so funny.
I know. But now I'm like, I'm towing the party line. But it does make sense. Like if people are sleeping and like light across the streets shooting into your bedroom, it could keep people awake.
Yeah.
So, turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the inflatables to be up in the afternoon.
I know, because I think
that's when they're kind of full of joy.
Well,
this morning when Livy and I walked out, she's like, Dad, it looks like an inflatable crime scene. All the inflatables were just lying in puddles on the ground. I was like, well, I don't want to have them on when people are trying to sleep and hearing the fans blowing and stuff.
Yeah, maybe we should start it at 10 a.m.
No, I did like noon.
Oh, you did?
So like noon to midnight's kind of like a good rhythm.
That is a good rhythm.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
But that's been a fun addition because we haven't always done inflatables.
Last like 3 years.
Yeah, but that's been a fun thing, and the kids love it.
We got this one that Lennox just absolutely loves. So it's interactive, moves around. It's very good.
Yeah.
Did you guys always decorate the outside of your house as a kid?
I think so.
I don't really have memories of it.
I don't
decorating
either.
our
I
house.
think my dad did, but I don't know.
But we do.
We do.
I love lights. I love Christmas lights.
Yeah. Well, and I love the lights we do keep on pretty much 24/7 are our Christmas tree lights, which I love. Like those are the only lights we have on
Alexa
downstairs.
I turn them off. I tell Alexa.
You do?
Do you know if you in our house if you say Alexa Merry Christmas, it'll turn on the Christmas tree?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little Easter egg.
Wait.
When I wake up in the morning, I always turn on the Christmas tree by saying Alexa Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, you can tell her to do that, and then you can do all these cool automations with Alexa where you get the smart plugs, you can plug anything to it, and then you can give a code, or you could have her do it on a schedule.
But I feel like the other day I randomly woke up at 3.
Trunk backwards. You know, that person probably got home with no pine needles still on the tree. It was unfurling as they went.
Oh my gosh. No, so I remember I was really into the matchiness. So like maroon and gold, I think, were our colors, because that was kind of the colors of our towels and our house. Like I remember I found this really pretty shower curtain that was like gold with this Asian kind of like flowers and leaves, and I basically based all the colors in our house off of that because I just loved it so much. So we registered for like maroon or burgundy and gold towels. Yeah. And I think we matched
that
every
memory
year.
To me is so precious because like we were just married. We got married in April, so when Christmas came around that whole season, it was like all so new.
Yeah.
And having our own Christmas tree in our little apartment that we got a discount on because it was right above the dumpster. You know, I remember they were like, hey, we'll knock $50 off your rent if you don't mind having a unit above the dumpster. I thought, save money and save time when I'm throwing the trash out. Win-win. I could actually, if someone left the lid open, huck the trash bag from our balcony into the trash thing, which I did every chance I got.
Yeah. I love
that
like
apartment. Coming out in the morning and there's like a tree and it was just like that glow and warmth. And I loved also, you know, being newly married and making sure we savored our own Christmas morning before going over to families' houses. And I think that's so important, especially if you're listening and you're newly married or you're, you know, maybe engaged or whatever. It's like developing your own holiday traditions. Because if you let your in-laws, you know, they'll have you, you know, over at 7 a.m. and it's like, man, no, we want to make sure we are prioritizing time for us just to have our own traditions.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's one of the most important things about, you know, starting your own family is deciding, you know, what are we going to do? What is our holidays going to look like? What are our, you know, and obviously we want to include family in it and stuff and instill values that are generationally, but out of all of your family stuff and out of all my family stuff saying, all right, well, we started a new family. And so what do we want our traditions to look like? And how do we want to ramp up our hearts? How do we want our Advent journey to be?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's really cool. It's not just letting the holiday hit you, because yes, there's the commercial side and shopping and all that stuff, but it's also like a mistake just to get to Christmas without having prepared your heart.
Yeah, that's
And that
so wise.
whole we're waiting, we're expectant. We remember that there was these 100 years of darkness, and that period of waiting, the 500 silent years between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And what do we want to? Wait, is that 500 or is that 400? 500 silent years? We'll have to Google
400,
that.
I think.
400 silent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 400.
Yeah.
Hey, look, anything over 350 years is a lot. 400? Okay, we had a correction. 400 silent years. But Malachi to Matthew, that was not just a page turn.
No.
It was 4 centuries.
Because it is for us, but that's not the reality.
So there was all this waiting. And when he finally came, they felt to the Jews like God had forgotten his promises.
Wow.
And so, to steep our hearts in an Advent journey is to say, basically, we're waiting. There's promises that haven't been fulfilled yet. I mean, here we are in this pandemic. We're still very much under the curse in the sense of its effects on this world. The disease that is the coronavirus, we could talk all day about why God has or hasn't allowed it, but what I could tell you for sure what's caused the coronavirus, Genesis 3.
Yeah.
And the fact that this world's under the curse. And those things, we're still longing to see the final full ramifications of the cross, and that is God's reconciliation of all things to himself. And that'll happen when Jesus returns. But until then, we're to preach the gospel of the kingdom to the poor and to the ends of the earth and to our own hearts, and to walk in the power of the light of the world that has come and is coming.
Yeah. Wow.
So each year is a chance to once again rekindle the flames of revival into full roar in our own homes, and to stoke those fires, and to remember, okay, God did keep his promise, therefore he will keep his promises.
Yeah.
And it's a chance, I think, each new December, that as it comes, for us to restore the things that have fallen.
Yeah.
And for all of us, there's different ways that our hearts have grown cold. And Christmas to me is a chance to once again hush and be still and stir up that wonder and awe and peace that broke the skies over Bethlehem those 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, and you have to fight for that too. You have to fight to go on that Advent journey. And I think that's one thing that's so great about doing an Advent, like a journal or devotional,
reading plan
or whatever, because it really, even in our own home, like there have literally been days where we're like, okay, we're going to read this Advent Devo today. And then we realize at the end of the day, like, oh, we never read it. But it's like
someone started peeing on the floor. It is what it is. And I apologize for that. I had a lot of coffee that day.
Wow.
Devotions with kids. Someone's crying, someone's screaming, someone's got hurt. I think the best is we try.
Try, and you remind the kids in the way that they receive it that this holiday isn't just about what you're asking for Christmas, but about giving. And I love that rhythm even in our church of generosity and using this year-end time of like stretching our faith and growing in giving and generosity, because it reminds us that it is not about us only, and it's not about what we want or what we get or what we've been given, but it's about giving what we've been given and blessing others. And so I'm so grateful for that rhythm, just even in our church.
Without a doubt. We'll get to Christmas movies in a second, and Christmas music and Christmas food, and we want to talk through all that stuff, and we'd love to hear your stuff, your traditions too. So whether it's a comment on the podcast platform that you listen on, or mention us on social media, and tell us, for you, how are you like or dislike us in any of our traditions, or maybe suggest a new tradition. I would love to see that and incorporate something. I'll steal it, pull it into our home.
Yeah.
But I would say without a doubt, Jenny, my favorite thing about the Advent journey for us as a family is the way our church that we are a part of, Fresh Life Church, every year we do a big year-end offering where we ask people to worship Jesus by giving him a gift.
Yeah.
Normally we celebrate his birthday by giving each other gifts, which is not bad. But we say, well, what about a gift to him? And what do you give someone? Well, you give them what they care about. What does Jesus care about? It's the least of these, the lost, the forgotten, and the last. And so, excuse me, man, I'm having such a hard time talking today. Do you hear that in my voice?
Yeah.
It sounds so tired.
Yeah, it does sound tired.
My tired voice.
Sounds good still.
Thank
And
you.
your hair looks good.
Man, you're so encouraging. Yeah, so every year we pick, some initiatives. This year there's 32 different causes that we gave our people in our church a chance, and us too, to contribute to. Stuff like homeless shelters and soup kitchens and pregnancy centers and sending tablets with God's word loaded up on them into prisons. And, really one really touching one was the Flathead Indian Reservation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these reservations around the country where their quality of life is so low and kids have a really hard time, and there's a lot of setbacks and health issues. And during COVID, it's been really bad on the Indian reservations. People dealing with the loss of what is already, constricted quality of life. And so we found this ministry that serves food and helps repair windows and helps with transportation for families on the Indian reservation. And so we're really excited. So anyhow, all that to say, and as our kids are included in it, we give them a chance to, hey, do you want to do some chores to earn some extra money? And a portion of what they have earned, we're able to give towards this. And we call it the Spitfire Fund because of this beautiful plane from World War II that was crowdfunded by the people of Great Britain. And we just said, hey, let's send these Spitfire gifts out to God. And I think every year for us as a family, as we not only buy, gifts for our friends and family and loved ones, but we also say, hey, let's give this gift to Jesus. That's been, I think, a thing that has made the holidays even more meaningful.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like for you as you're listening, whether your church is doing some sort of offering, or you could find a cause in your neighborhood, or if you're looking for one, you could join us at Fresh Life. There's room for you in the Spitfire Fund too. But whatever it is that you get behind it, that you get behind the gospel going out, you get behind Jesus being brought. And, I think it's a balance. It's like the church can be either only practical things or spiritual things, but I think it's both.
Yeah.
People don't have the bandwidth to listen to us tell them how great Jesus is if they're hungry, if they have stomachs that are hungry.
Right. They can't hear you over the rumbling tummies.
But if you only ever, do practical needs but don't address their souls, that isn't good either, because, you feed a guy for a day, you feed him for a day, but you touch his heart, he's changed for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I think it's always both and.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's really important.
Yeah. Well, and that's been a really fun thing, even as the kids have been getting older and it's become more of a rhythm. I mean, even for you and me, we're saving throughout the year for this. And even for our kids knowing, one of our kids, Olivia, actually, she had been saving throughout the year that I didn't know of. So it was just really sweet to hear, as we are in this rhythm of giving and generosity and knowing that this is the time of year where we're going to give above and beyond, knowing that our kids are looking forward to it too.
I love that.
And it's really special.
And I love the idea that you don't have to be rich to give a gift that makes God happy.
Yeah.
One of our children told me oh, Dad, I'm a little bit embarrassed about people seeing my name on this envelope because it's not a lot of money. And I said, well, you don't have a lot of money. So this actually, if you compare it to how much you have, is actually a real big sacrifice.
Yeah.
You could buy something else with it. You could use this for other things. But the fact that you're prioritizing this out of the limited amount you have, that'll grow with time.
Yeah.
So I think, if you're single, newly married, if you're recently divorced and you say, I don't have a lot, but I want to do something, just do something that will help God continue to bless people this year.
Yeah.
And I believe that he'll be impressed by that. And I think that's one of the most important things you could do this time of the year is to focus on benevolence.
Yeah.
Focus on, the nonprofits in your city that are struggling to, do the work they're doing. They're discouraged. You sending cards or bringing a gift certificate to them or bringing cookies into, the staff that works at the local food bank, that would encourage them more than
Yeah.
And I think God will use it to make this Christmas more memorable than perhaps any that have come before it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because everything we buy each other at the end of the day, it's destined one day to end up either in the thrift store or, the junkyard at worst, or maybe they'll keep it. But what we do that has eternal value to it, I think that we get to keep forever.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, nothing that we have, naked we came into this world, naked we're leaving. It's those things are amazing, and being able to bless our kids and have fun and enjoy life, that's very important. But our eternal destination and what we're doing to build the kingdom, that is life.
Yeah.
But okay, so what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Okay. Was the question, what is the best Christmas movie ever?
Yes.
That's different. My favorite and the best Christmas movie ever.
Well, then why wouldn't that be your favorite?
Well, it doesn't have to be, because that's highly subjective. But the best Christmas movie ever, I think, would be A Miracle on 34th Street. My favorite Christmas movie is probably Home Alone.
Wow.
Now, that's not the best Christmas movie ever,
But that's your favorite.
but it's probably my favorite.
And is that because it's intertwingled?
Ooh,
Intermingled.
new word
with your
alert. Somebody write that down. Ding, 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 ding. Jenny has made up a new word, and the word is intertwingled. Wow.
Intermingled with your childhood?
Why is Home Alone my favorite? Because it's probably one of the most quotable movies ever.
Right.
There's not a time in your life when there's not a perfect, ready to be teed up Home Alone reference that's almost perfect. This is my house, and I have to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I saw that house, I wanted it. Silver tuna tonight. You did it again. You're sick. I'm not sick. That's a sick thing to do. You left the water running, didn't you? Sorry. Good job leaving the water running. Now we know each and every house you've hit. I'm going to bite off each and every one of those fingers. Plus, it's highly nutritious macaroni.
Wow.
I'm just saying, like, it's ready
But you also have a mind
come out
for
of me.
memorizing. You and our children. I do not have that gift.
Kevin, you're what the French call les compétents. I'm just saying, like, that movie was
Yes.
built to be quoted. Every
Right.
line in it, it's perfect. John Candy's character. Polka, polka, polka. Kiss me, polka.
So
if
the
I
best
have
movie-
to sell my soul to the Satan, if I have to get out on that runway and hitchhike, everything.
Wow.
All right, what's
Okay,
in
so
your
the best
opinion?
movie is
Oh, the best
Miracle
movie.
on 34th Street.
Yeah, I just love the black and white. I love Santa Claus on Trial. I love
It's a
it.
great movie.
It works. I love New York. I love the parade. It's Christmas Day. It's Macy's Day. I love it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite and the best? Those are two different things.
Golly.
Look what you did, you little jerk. This is crystal. Put it in your purse. Put it in your purse. Fill it up. It's free, isn't it? If it makes you horrible. If it makes you feel better, I forgot my reading glasses.
Oh my gosh. I think my favorite is Elf.
Okay. Excellent choice.
Like the other night, we were gonna choose another one, and Elf, and I was like, I just need to laugh.
I just need Elf.
I just need a happy movie.
Yep.
And so I think that is my favorite. And then I would say I
The
think
best.
I would agree with you. I think Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life. And I know we had a conversation about It's a Wonderful Life, but there is just a sweetness about that one too.
What is the dumbest Christmas movie that's a guilty pleasure and you like it anyway?
I don't know.
For me, it's Jingle All the Way. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad. It's a terrible movie.
It's so horrible.
It's a ridiculous movie, and I enjoy it thoroughly.
I like the one with Tim Allen when he turns into Santa
The
Claus.
Santa Claus is another terrible guilty pleasure. I like that also. There's nothing worse than the sequels from that one, though.
Ooh.
Home Alone 2 was great. Home Alone 3 was embarrassing. The same thing with Santa Claus. They should have just stopped it right then and there.
Mhm.
It just got worse.
Yeah.
We watched the other day. It's quasi-Christmassy. It's on the holiday section of Disney Plus. Babes in Toyland.
Yes.
It's not really Christmassy, but it's got its own charm.
Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of movies. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. And it's not a Christmas movie per se, but there's a lot of Christmas in it.
Do you know if this toothbrush has been approved by the American Dental Association?
Wow. Okay, so speaking of toothbrushes, I have a question for
Speaking
you.
of toothbrushes.
Are you the kind of person when someone is around you, are you the kind of person when they have something in their teeth that you tell them there's something in their teeth? Or you just let them be and figure it out on their own later?
Jenny, that question is irrelevant. Everyone's wearing masks, and it's actually the greatest thing. I don't really want to see inside anyone's mouth, and I don't want anyone to see inside my mouth. And
Okay.
also, you only need breath mints for your own self. You don't have to worry about bad breath anymore for other people. It's
No,
kind of
but-
a wonderful
okay,
part of the
It's
pandemic.
the holiday season. You're going to be around family.
Holiday
Your mask is going to
season.
be off.
Yep.
What do you do? Do you tell the person
If
that there's
I
something in their
see
teeth?
something in your teeth, I always tell you.
But I'm different than what if there's someone else?
That's such a hard thing. I mean, if I love somebody, I will always tell them. But if you just met somebody, you can't just be telling them that. Although
I
I tried
think you
remember when I
can.
tried the other day? No, I saw this dude and his fly was down. Remember on the
Oh,
airplane?
yeah,
He was getting off, and I was like, man, I would want to know. I need to tell. Like, I'm gonna tell this guy. So like, he was standing there. We were all waiting to get off the plane, and I was like, hey man, your fly's down. And he thought I was asking if he would get a bag down for me. He was like, which one's yours? And I was like, no, man, your fly's down.
But you had a mask on. He had a mask on.
Yeah, and then
it's
he
hard
was
to
like,
hear people.
And then he was like, no, I have a short layover. And I was like, no, your fly's down. And he was like, yeah, I'm just going out of gate E20. And I was like, all right, he's going to figure it out when he figures it out. Like he thought I was saying,
kind of
are you
you.
flying down? Like, I don't know what he thought I was saying at the last part, but I just felt like I would want to know.
That was very good of
So
you.
I put myself out there
You
and
did.
look what happened.
But you tried. You did your best. You did your. I feel like it's a duty.
I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Here is
South
my
Bend
thought.
Shovel Slayer.
If
The
I had
salt
something in
turns
my
the
teeth,
bodies into mummies. Mummies. He like mouths it real quietly.
so there have been times where you haven't told me I have something in my teeth,
Prove it.
but also it is hard to. It's hard to not know that I have something in my teeth. 'cause
Jenny, the answer
my
is
teeth-
almost always yes.
I have a
Your
proclivity.
teeth have a magnetic quality to things getting stuck in them. I don't know if there's grooves or channels. So, if I tell you only when there's something in it that I can tell, you just have to assume the answer is yes. I just carry toothpicks around with me for you. Now, having said that, I'd rather have your teeth that get stuff stuck in them than my teeth that just get cavities when I brush 5 times a day. You've never had a cavity in your life, right?
No. Well, I did not have a cavity in my life until we got married.
Oh, so you're saying I brought some sweetness into your life? So I was not approved by the American Dental Association.
No, you are not.
We got a question here about a toothbrush. Sir, you have to pay for that. You'll pay for that here. Stop that man. Shoplifter.
Thief.
Shoplifter. Jimmy, stop that boy.
But I think it is helpful when someone that you're talking to.
Is there a movie more quotable than Home Alone? We should think about that.
Well, you quote Dumb and Dumber all the time.
Ooh, Dumb and Dumber. Samsonite, I was way off. I would say Dumb and Dumber, Princess Bride, and Home Alone. These are the movies that shaped me.
And
Little Mermaid?
No, there's what's the Adam Sandler
Ooh,
movie?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. I wish I could do impersonations.
Okay, so when you're talking to, like, you're at a holiday party. No, listen,
Sweetheart,
this is really
I
important to me.
don't like holiday parties. I don't want to go to a
Well,
holiday
I'm
party.
talking
The
to
best thing
the
about
person
2020 is
listening.
that I don't have to go to any holiday parties. Let's
Okay.
talk about that.
So when you're talking to someone and they have something in their teeth, I think it's very good manners to say, "Hey, you got a little something in your teeth."
Yeah, but it's embarrassing for the person also. So I'm
But
not like
it's not.
looking for the
No,
opportunity
don't
to
look
do
for
that.
it. But I mean, if the
You hope
opportunity
you are like
presents
excited about
itself.
large pepper on salads because you're like, ooh, I'm gonna get to tell someone.
No, I hate it. I hate telling
What do
someone
you
they have something
What
in
do
their
you
teeth.
do?
I just say you have a little something.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
I just think it shows that you care about them and that you would want them to do that to you.
Jenny, this is a holiday episode. This is a feel-good
I
episode.
feel like that is something that people need to know.
You're lounging on the couch. This is causing you to fixate on this subject. Can we please move
We
on?
can.
Let's talk about holiday music.
Okay.
What is the best Christmas record? You only get one. And your favorite. You get 2.
Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Whew. That is your favorite or the best?
I don't know.
Your favorite and the best.
Well, I don't know the best.
I think
I think that is a best.
I mean, Bing Crosby. You can't beat the cover of the record has a red hat. What's the name of that record? The Bing Crosby Christmas record. I think it starts with Happy Holidays. To me, that's the most iconic. I'm going to call that the best.
Well, what's your favorite?
My favorite, White Christmas, is the Bing Crosby. All right, lovely. So the best is, in my opinion, Bing Crosby. My favorite Christmas album. It's a 3-way tie between Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and the Beach Boys. You didn't expect that, did you?
No.
But I really do like those 3.
I love how our 15-year-old daughter loves the Beach Boys.
Loves the Beach Boys.
She has this playlist, and it includes the Beach Boys.
I heard the other day the Beach Boys didn't surf, that none of them were actual surfers.
I don't believe it.
And every song was like, hey, you got your board? Let's go surf. Hey, it's Christmas? Let's go surf.
Everybody, come on, party with me.
Do you have wax? Let's go surf.
And
And I was listening to someone talk about them, and they said that none of them actually surfed. It was all just their shtick. I was highly offended. But their Christmas record's great. What's the Beach Boys Christmas record called? What's your favorite and your... You didn't tell me your favorite. You just told me to...
I don't know. You know me. I can't pin... You asked me what was my favorite part of the week, and I list off 10 things. Like, I can't just say my one favorite thing of the week is my one favorite.
Do you like
Christmas
Elvis
album.
Presley's?
No.
No.
I don't really like him in general. I know,
yeah.
controversial.
You don't like him in general?
I don't like his songs in general.
Just Christmas album by the Beach Boys. All right. Okay, so then why don't you just name 10 Christmas albums you really like?
Ooh, that's a better question for me.
I know. Before she goes, Mariah Carey's going to be on it. I'll tell you right now.
Justin Bieber.
Very good. The Biebs.
Mariah Carey. Pentatonics.
That's a good one.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
You already said that. You said that was your favorite.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. What is Christmas?
Fresh Life Worship actually has a really beautiful Christmas
We
song.
did do a very nice Christmas single
called
Can
I Like
You
the
Hear It?
Hallelujah.
Well, the Hallelujah, but then we just released Do You Hear What I Hear?
Yeah.
Do You Hear What I Hear? That should be out right now.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
Sounds beautiful.
You're not to 10, sweetheart. You got ways to go.
I don't know. That's all I can list.
Do you like country Christmas?
No.
Jazz Christmas?
Yes, I like jazz. I do like jazz Christmas.
What's your favorite Christmas song to sing in church? Because I know you don't like the Christmas carols traditionally sung back to back to back.
No, I mean, they are beautiful, but I think when you're worshiping, like, I feel like there are plenty of Christmas carols that people have, like, inserted worshipful parts that's, like, really powerful and beautiful. Christmas music hymns are awesome and they're beautiful, but I think when they're the slow, silent night, like, and that just keeps going on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's horrible. But when you add in, like, I really love Christmas pop in the sense of, like, it just adds a beat to it. There's something you can do. You can
Ooh, Jackson 5 Christmas album.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is
That's
good
very
one.
good.
So anyways, I don't know. I just,
Have a Christmas food.
now that's different because Thanksgiving, there's this is what you eat for Thanksgiving.
Christmas food is
Christmas
fudge.
food,
Fudge.
sugared cranberries are probably my favorite to make and to eat.
Orange cinnamon rolls. That's one of the things we always do on Christmas. Christmas Day, we always have orange cinnamon rolls. The cheap Pillsbury ones.
Yeah.
We do that in between stockings and gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So a little pre-breakfast.
Yeah.
Because, as a kid, my parents used to make us always eat the full Christmas breakfast before presents, but no one enjoyed the food. And then afterwards, you were like, all you was thinking about was presents. So we kind of like split the difference. Now it's like,
Yeah, it's like
we
a
do
brunch.
stockings right away. Then we do kind of the cinnamon rolls, and then we
So
do
that
the
we're
Christmas
eating
story.
something and we're not starving.
Then we do the presents, not eat the presents. And then we do the whole, what's it called? The whole like kind of more of a meal, eggs and whatever else.
I feel like that is something that I need to work on as far as the tradition of what we eat on
The
Christmas.
tradition of Christmas is ham. We've never really done that, except remember my job at when I was a youth pastor in Albuquerque was we always got our Christmas bonus in that place was a gift certificate for a honey baked ham.
Mm-hmm.
Every year we would open up our boxes and it would be like, you get a ham. And so it was like a Christmas ham. We'd always save for like Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to really heat that up or cook it. You just kind of cut it off and ate it.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
So like
I don't know.
none of us really like cooking with pork. It's kind of, I don't really understand it. Like to go buy a ham, it would not be some meat.
your
I wouldn't really know.
mother-in-law, your stepmom,
Yes.
Larissa, she makes pozole. And she made it this year when we did a family gathering, and it was so good, and all of our kids ate it.
Pozole is fantastic.
And I was thinking,
and traditionally that does come with pork in it.
Well, I know, but I feel like that could be something that we could do.
I like the word pozole. I
And
also
it was
like
really good.
the word odele. What does odele means? O-D-A-L-E?
Odele.
Odele.
I think
It's like hello. It's like greetings of some sort.
listen up or something.
Maybe it's O-R-A-L-A. O-R-A-L-E.
No, odele.
Odele. I gotta figure that out. Pozole, odele. Like when I lived, it's a Spanish word. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Spanish word. O-R-A-L-E.
No, I don't think it's O-R.
O-D-A-L-E. Odele. Like it's like a hello, like a greeting. I feel like.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
All the people who speak Spanish are laughing at
They're
us
like,
right now.
you are.
And they're yelling at us the answer, but we can't hear you.
We're gonna. Yeah, through the podcast, you're screaming at us. Odele. Right on.
Oh yeah.
Or, oh yeah.
Right on.
Oh yeah, or right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this friend in high school, and he would always, when he saw like to greet you, he'd throw both his hands up and be like, "Orale." Is it O-R or O-D? It looks like O-R-A-L-E. Yeah, so it's pronounced Odele.
Orale.
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 Orale. Orale.
Orale.
Orale. But you got to say like that. That's how he'd always say it. Orale.
Orale.
And is there like an inflection over one of the letters? The O has like the
Orale.
Orale. Yeah, so, but it sounds like it's a D, but it's an R. And it means, oh yeah, or right on. Hey, did you learn something today? You learned Jenny's fake word, what was it?
Intertwingle.
Intertwingled. And you learned orale.
Wow.
So what fun we've had on this Christmas spectacular.
Yeah.
I've also noticed you've never, I don't know if you know this, I have this like slow campaign to get you to allow our kids to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. And every year I bring it up casually in the list, and every year you shoot it down. And I'm hoping one year.
Maybe when our kids don't wake
When
up
they're
with
20
nightmares.
Maybe
And I'm the
that'll
one
be-
that gets up in the middle of the night with them.
I like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've never watched it.
Oh my gosh! So you're poo-pooing this thing and you never even seen it?
Because it's the nightmare before Christmas.
Gotcha. I'm sure there are a
Just
few
seems
moms listening who are
wrong.
like, "You're with Team Jenny." There's probably a few people. I'm going to say this: there's probably some dads with Team Jenny also, and some moms with Team Levi. If you think, okay, this is where we need some interactivity. It's December 17th, so there's still time before Christmas. If you think my kids should be allowed to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Now, when you say your kids, are you including Lennox?
I don't know, maybe just older ones. Maybe Lennox goes to bed.
What about
hypothetically.
Clover, who's very sensitive to
Maybe
darkness?
Clover goes to bed. Sensitive to
I think
darkness.
Livy can, but I just feel like the younger ones, I just feel like maybe Daisy.
So
would be
we're going to
fine.
look to the Instagram comments on the day this podcast goes up, and we're going to look to you telling us whether or not we should or should not let our kids watch The Night Before Christmas, and whether you like it or whether you like Tim Burton. I like the ride at Disneyland. That's why I
No,
like
the other
movie.
one is Edward Scissorhands. That's the
Ooh,
one that I always veto.
That's a good Christmas movie. You let us watch it once.
Well, and we didn't get through it because Livy was screaming and gnashing
Jenny
his
is the
teeth.
conscience of our home. Yes, she's.
I have a sensitive conscience.
bar comes
so
down.
I get nightmares easily.
The boom
not
gets
still,
lowered.
But, well, sometimes I do. But yeah.
I love that you care and you monitor what's being watched. It's a beautiful thing. For us, they're also the thing about Christmas that's so cool to me. That's a testimony of God's goodness is the fact that there's such hard associations for our family with Christmas. Our daughter Linya went to heaven on December 20th, and so the whole Christmas season is also a reminder of the hardest thing we've ever gone through.
Right.
But it's also become a symbol of God's goodness and strength.
That's right.
And I think the first year, December 13, she went to heaven in 2012. The first year in 2013 was the first time as it started to come. I saw the red cups at Starbucks. And I was like, oh no. Like I kind of felt that like sick in my stomach. How am I going to get through this? How are we going to get through this? But then God's been so good to give us strength to where now I relish the opportunity to put lights up because it's a reminder of what Jesus came to overcome, and that is death.
Yeah. No, it's true. I'm grateful. God is so kind, and it's fun to celebrate him and celebrate with our kids and see even Lennox this year. I feel like everything's been new to him, and putting up the Christmas tree. It's Christmas now.
Yeah, he's so pumped.
Like, he's so excited.
I've never seen him more excited
I
than watching those
know.
Christmas lights go up. And
I know.
actually,
So-
the only other time was one of those Japanese restaurants where the chef cooks on the table and bangs on the table with knives and stuff. Lennox was mesmerized.
And then he covered his ears because it was too loud.
And then, the guy lit it on fire. He goes, "That's so loud." The onion bursting into flames.
Yeah.
That was a fun family
That
kind
was
of
sweet.
start to the Christmas season.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I hope you've enjoyed this. We've just tried to open up our hearts a little bit. Let this be the Christmas spectacular. Like I said, next week is going to be the final episode of 2020 of season 1. Hey, it's the Luskos. And then we'll come back in February. We got some great guests lined up for February, some great episodes. We're going to be better than ever. We're going to be in a new set location for 2020 that we're going to have somewhere. It won't come, 2021 rather. It won't be right away, but at some point in 2020 when we move into a new set for Hey, it's the Luskos. A sound stage, yeah, right. Like make it sound like it's at Warner Brothers. A sound stage. There's going to be a green
it's gonna
screen.
be great. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be season 2, and I just want to say, for those of you listening, I just wanted to tell you that whether you're going through a hard season or Christmas is hard and tough and difficult and brings up memories of difficult things, just that God is with you and that you're not alone, and you are so loved, and we're just praying God's grace over
Oh, that's
you
beautiful.
this season, and that God would reveal something special to you as you look to Him in the storm, as you surrender and ask Him to help you see the way He sees and to have His perspective in the midst of your heartache and trouble. And we just want to tell you that we love you. Thank you for joining us, and we're just praying that over you.
That's beautiful. Yeah. If you have a bad association with Christmas and it's like you don't want to put decorations up, I'm not telling you what to do, but let me just tell you what worked for us. When I didn't give into my impulse to hide from Christmas and I embraced it full strength, we embraced it full strength.
Yeah.
I found that eventually God rewrote those associations.
Yeah, and it takes time.
Yeah. So that's a really good word. Thank you for sharing that, Jennie. And thank you, everyone who's joined us. And with that, we wrap on the Lusko Christmas Odole Intertwinkle Spectacular for the ages, for the cure.
Intertwinkle.
And we have to find one more Home Alone quote to wrap it all up. And Jennie, this one's coming from you.
No, I'm the worst.
There's
I'm
got to
the
be a
worst.
Home Alone. I'm living alone. I'm living alone. Thank you guys. Goodbye.